2024 was a very busy year for government. That is in terms of political and socio-economic milestones achieved under the stewardship of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa. And depending on how you view it yourselves, I would like to describe 2024 as a year in which government, we took bold and decisive decision to pursue and consolidate the development and the thrust of His Excellency vis-a-vis the attainment of Vision 2030. And let me just highlight some of those. I will start with economic reforms. Government, through its Reserve Bank, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, introduced Zimbabwe Gold currency to replace the Zimbabwean dollar which was there. This step, which we boldly took, stabilized the economy, and it laid the foundation for sustained economic growth. You will agree with me that there is no country that can ever grow without its own currency. So we had to come out with our own currency, which is a currency which is backed by our gold reserves, the gold that we have in our vaults, and also the foreign currency reserves that we have in Zimbabwe. So that's actually what backed this currency or supported this currency. On the infrastructure, which I think that's what you want to know most. Last year, infrastructural development was impacted negatively upon by the incidence of El Nino. So progress was there slackened a little bit because we had to take some of the resources that we have to quickly mitigate the effects of the drought. People wanted food, people wanted to eat, so we had to do that. Nevertheless, that did not stop us from investing into the infrastructure. A case in point will be the 520 kilometers road or highway between Harare and Bridge, and also about 1,500 kilometers of road rehabilitation which we took. And the year also saw the commissioning of the new Robert Mugabe International Airport by His Excellency the President, which increased the passenger capacity significantly. So that's what we did. And in the area of housing, by the way, we have made significant progress in closing our target of 220,000 houses per year. We managed to do that. And all that as it was stipulated in NDS 1. So that is the 2024. Now, on digital transformation, a major development of our digitization program was the licensing of Starlink, a satellite internet service in the country. This step increased internet penetration from 63% to 75%. Now this bold decision was simply an acknowledgement of the information sector, which is your sector, as a major contributor to the economy. On agriculture, another bold and decisive step of the government of His Excellency President Mnangagwa during this year was the proposal on a land policy that would give indigenous farmers, those that benefited through the land reform, ownership of the land that they own. The ownership with which they can actually, which allows them to go to the bank and use their title deeds as collateral and get loans to develop their land. So that is a milestone achievement for the year 2024. And this alone will then unlock a lot of dead capital in the country, of our country. Now on health, the Minister of Health and Child Care procured cancer machines for both Parerinyatwa and Mpilo, which are the major hospitals in Zimbabwe. And it also implemented a basic diagnostic tool for village health workers to screen and diagnose basic conditions in the rural areas. And when we come to sports, I know most of you have been complaining that we are having our home games played elsewhere.
Indeed.
But what I can tell you is that we are now finalizing the long-awaited installation of the bucket system for the National Sports Stadium. And of course, modernizing other related facilities like Magamba, all the facilities that are under the Ministry of Sport. Politically.
Key issue.
I think so. As a people, we have remained united politically in Zimbabwe. And the divisions we hear about, if any, if there are any, we read them from newspapers. We don't see them ourselves. For instance, it has been trending that I'm dying somewhere in India and I'll come in a coffin. I've never been to India. I've always been here home. And here I am. Do I look like somebody that has just come back from India in a coffin?
Not at all.
Or I'm a death warmed up. So these are the papers, but we saw what we saw politically is the launch of the Gukuraunde Community Engagement Outreach by His Excellency the President. A very important program, which I also started when I was still in charge of the National Peace and Reconciliation. We discussed this with chiefs, and we were saying to the chiefs, you were there before us as government. How did you used to resolve issues or disputes within the communities? Maizita say. And they told me. And after I made my report to the president about what the chiefs were saying, then the president called them and he said he's going to launch this initiative, which now seeks to address the historical grievances arising from Gukuraunde. And the only port of call was that chiefs would actually assist us. So we roped in traditional leaders to come and assist. They are running with it, and we hope it is going to bear fruit, because they are the owners of the people. They still live with the people. They know how even time long ago before we were there, how disputes were resolved. And their involvement ensures that process of inclusive culturally sensitive and reflective of the aspiration of the affected communities are addressed. Sorry for my voice. I think that's what took me to India. As you may be aware, beyond my position as Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, I am a proud ZANU-PF cadre. I don't know whether you are, but I am a proud ZANU-PF cadre. And to discuss political developments without acknowledging the party's role will be complete. Because this government is formed of a political party, and that political party is ZANU-PF. And we successfully hosted our annual National People's Conference in October last year in Bulawayo. This is a pivotal event in our ZANU-PF calendar, and the highest expression of democracy within ZANU-PF. We hold it once a year. So when 5 years comes, Congress comes, we'll have had 5 of those or 4 of those. The 5th one will actually be the Congress. And all the resolutions that we've been passing will then be given to the Congress. Because Congress is the party, is the people's voice. Now, the confidence which was actually allowed us to reflect on our achievements and where we needed to improve were highlighted by the conference. And we are going to improve on those resolutions as the conference is done. These resolutions adopted were all rooted on the aspirations and the voices of the people of Zimbabwe. The voice of the people is the voice of God. So, on the regional front, Zimbabwe provided regional leadership in many areas. So in 2024, Zimbabwe continued to assert its leadership role within SADC. Several significant milestones were highlighted through our commitment to fostering regional integration, peace and sustainable development. The icing on the cake was the hosting of the SADC Summit in Harare in August 2024. We successfully hosted this event of heads of state and government. Indeed, a prestigious event that brought together leaders from all across the region. And I think it was the most well-attended summit as compared to other summits that came before it. Ours, according to what you tell us.
Indeed, it was.
Is that it was the best attended one.
Yes.
There were very few heads of state that did not attend. So, this is your 2024. I don't know how yours has been, but ours is what I'm actually telling you about. So, there it is.